This is, of course, an economic summit, but it's very much being overshadowed by geopolitical events, in particular what's happening in Syria, just 500 miles from me, and the resulting refugee crisis. Let's speak to Angel Gurria, who's the Secretary General of the OECD. All these world leaders together, surely they can come up with a solution for this crisis of our age, as it were.
Well, there's a question of awareness, there's a question of the origin of the problem, there's a question of the management of the problem, and then there's a question in the short term, and then there's a question of the management of the problem in the medium and long term. And that is integration, integration, integration. We at the OECD just published our 39th annual edition of the International Migration Outlook. And we published a set of indicators about the quality of the integration of migrants, which are going to come in very, very handy for the management of the problem going forward. But what you have is a situation in the home country of these migrants. I mean, it's not labor migration when you're talking about Syria, whose cities are being bombed.
No, and there are
two going house by house, keeping people out. You know, it's survival.
And there are 2 million of them here in Turkey. What can the leaders here at this summit do to solve that problem?
Well, first of all, they can help Turkey, because Turkey has been exemplary. Turkey is an extraordinary example of openness, of generosity. And one of the most extraordinary features, not very well known, is that 2/3 of the 2 million migrants are no longer in camps, that they're basically dispersed through the country, and therefore in a process already of trying to integrate somehow. So this is very exemplary, because in the end we at the OECD believe that although it's very newsworthy that you have all these dramatic flows, hundreds of thousands of people through borders, in the end it's going to be about integration, and that Europe can integrate these flows.
Okay, what one thing can the leaders here do to help this awful situation?
First of all, support the countries that are suffering the brunt of this phenomenon, and that is Turkey, and that is Lebanon, and that is Jordan. And then obviously there needs to be more coordination among the Europeans themselves, and then intra-European, there needs to be support for the countries that are the passage, not the destination. At the destination, clearly the problem, as I said, medium and long term, is going to be integration, integration, integration.
And Angel Gurria, thank you very much indeed. Well, the summit proper starts on Saturday, and they'll be discussing the refugee crisis in detail on Monday.